On Wednesday, October 2nd, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer.
Come on.
The CAT scan revealed that my condition has spread into my abdomen. For now, I must focus on my treatment. However, I want all of you to know that I intend to beat this disease. And further, I intend to ride again as a professional cyclist.
I'm too weak, too slow, too big. I ate too much for breakfast. Got a headache. It's raining. My dog is sick. I can't right now. I'm not inspired. It makes me smell bad. I'm allergic to stuff. I'm fat. I'm thin. It's too hot. I'm not right. I've got shin splints, headache. I'm distracted. I'm exerting myself too much. I'd love to really, but I can't. I just can't. My favorite show is on. I got a case of the Mondays, the Tuesdays, the Wednesdays. I don't want to do this. I'm gonna do something else. After New Year's, next week, might make a mistake. I got homework. I feel bloated. I have gas. I got a hot date. My coach hates me. Mom won't let me. I bruise easily. It's too dark. It's too cold. My blister hurts. This is dangerous. Sorry, I don't have a bike. I didn't get enough sleep. My tummy hurts. It's not in my jeans. I don't want to look all tired out. I need a better coach. I don't like getting tackled. I have a stomach ache. I'm not the athletic type. I want to get sweaty. I have better things to do. I don't want to slow you down. I have to do this as soon as I get a promotion. I think I'll sit this one out. And my feet hurt.
11 laps of the track. And it looks like Shordikovsky into the early lead. Nobody very anxious to go. They're all looking like cyclists bunching on the side there. Prefontaine straight through into the lead. And Johnson tucking in behind him, and Licorin third. I think this will probably be the pattern of the race for 4 or 5 laps. I think Prefontaine, being a distance runner, a 3-mile or 5,000 metre runner, really enjoys coming down to the mile and rubbing the specialist noses in it. The easiest way to run, of course, is to sit in and just follow the rhythm of the leader. Shordikovsky surprisingly making a move.
Marty's still in the middle of that pack, running just with the group.
Keeping him out. Still Prefontaine up at the front, with Shordikovsky second. 2 laps to go. Licorin now muscled his way through into third place. Prefontaine still running off the front, but everybody's stretching to stay with him. But Licorin really sprinting to get up onto terms.
Here comes Marty.
It's going to be a marvellous last lap. Prefontaine leading with Shordikovsky and Licorin together. The gun goes, still Prefontaine and Licorin second. America's 2 great distance runners together, and Prefontaine is giving it everything. He's run the whole race in front, and it looks as if Licorin's cracked, and Del Buono of Italy is coming through into third place. It's Prefontaine then, Prefontaine all the way, and Del Buono of Italy second. Prefontaine wins brilliantly, 3:59.2. Prefontaine sets a new world best time. It's just a fraction outside the meet record.
Very pleased. Very pleased.
Was it a tactical plan to go out from the front?
Well, I think everybody knew my plan. For me to win a race against competition of that nature, I have to go out hard and just about lead from the start, because the runners in that field are all runners that hang on and then outkick you at the last. So my tactics was just to go strong and run the first 3/4 of a mile hard, and then just hang on the last quarter.
Well, you didn't seem to be hanging on. You looked like you could have gone about 3 more laps.
I could have maybe gone 1 more lap, but I don't know about 3 more.
Does it give you a thrill as a long-distance runner to come and beat the milers at their own game?
Yeah, you might say that. I wish I could beat some of the 3-milers at their own game.
I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's going to win that inch. And I know if I'm going to have any life in me, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is.
In the 400 meters, of course, the winner, Jeremy Warner. And Baylor just has such an incredible reputation as a 4x4 team. They could have no athletes in the final of the 400, and they still win the 4x4. It's like what those people down in Waco are made of. They come to run the 4x4.
Arizona State a nice lead. Minnesota looks like they will break in second. UCLA running the diagonal. Very smart running by Jonathan Williams to give the Bruins third place.
Baylor's back in 8th place right now. They're leaving their big guns, Warner and Williamson, a lot of work to do.
Right now, Arizona State with the lead. Minnesota in second, and UCLA fading.
Minnesota still in second position, going to Mitch Potter.
Arizona State drops the baton.
Oh, Dominique Patterson. How much can go on here? We have a fall in the women's race, and then Arizona State drops the baton.
So now Mississippi State with Keston Nelson, the senior.
And Dominique Patterson trying to get the entire distance back in the first 200 meters. He is going to die like a dog in the home stretch. He will pay the price for dropping that baton. He's going all on adrenaline, but the physical nature of this event will catch up with him right now.
Jeremy Warner is flying in the third leg for Baylor.
I told you they left Baylor a lot of work to do, and they left it for the man who can do it. Jeremy Warner hands off the baton in first position for Baylor.
Daryl Williamson runs the anchor for Baylor, the 7-time NCAA champions in this event.
But do not forget that Mitch Potter from Minnesota is running in second. So Williamson has to keep his head here.
It is Williamson for Baylor, Potter for Minnesota.
And band up, Arizona State now moves the Sun Devils into third, past Mike Morrison of Florida.
Looks like Potter is trying to make a move on Williamson. They're coming home. Baylor in front. Darren Williamson. He is gliding to the finish for Baylor. 8th time they've won the 4x4 men's relay.
And they were very lucky they had who they had on their third and fourth leg, because those guys really put the pedal to the metal. Jeremy Warner brought them back to life, and Darrell Williamson put a stamp on it. Kids at home, this is how you have to finish a 400-meter. He also gets a very strong pass.
Before it was a young man who, he wanted to make a lot of money, and so he went to this guru, right? And he told the guru, I want to be on the same level you're on. And so the guru said, if you want to be on the same level I'm on, I'll meet you tomorrow at the beach at 4 a.m. He liked the beach. I said, I want to make money. I don't want to swim. Guru said, if you want to make money, I'll meet you tomorrow, 4 a.m. So the young man got there at 4 a.m. He all ready to rock and roll, got on the suit. He should have wore shorts. The old man grabs his hand and said, how bad do you want to be successful? He said, real bad. He said, walk on out in the water. So he walks out into the water. Watch this. When he walks out into the water, it goes waist deep. So he's like, this guy crazy. I want to make money. He got me out here swimming. I didn't ask to be a lifeguard. I want to make money. So he said, come out a little further. Walked out a little further. Then he had it right around the shoulder area. So this old man crazy. He's making money, but he crazy. He said, come on out a little further. He came out a little further. It was right at his mouth. My man like, I'm about to go back in here. This guy is mine. So the old man said, I thought you said you wanted to be successful. He said, I do. He said, walk a little further. He came, dropped his head in, held him down, holding down. My man didn't stretch it, holding him down. Just before my man was about to pass out, he raised him up. He said, I got a question for you. He said, when you were underwater, what did you want to do? He said, I wanted to breathe. He told the guy, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I don't know how many of y'all got asthma in here today, but if you ever had an asthma attack before, you short of breath, SOB, shortness of breath, you wheezing. The only thing you trying to do is get some air. You don't care about no basketball game. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care about nobody calling you. You don't care about a party. The only thing you care about when you're trying to breathe is to get some fresh air. That's it. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you love sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you've got to be willing to give up sleep. You got to be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you really want to be successful, some days you will have to stay up 3 days in a row. Because if you go to sleep, you might miss the opportunity to be successful. That's how bad you got to want it.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
The bolt is loaded. The World 100-meter final.
Set.
They get away first time. Tyson Gay right alongside Usain Bolt, but here he goes, streaking away already. It's Bolt all the way. He's looking round at Gay. Watch the clock. It's gold for Bolt, and again he's done it again. A new world record for Usain Bolt. They say lightning doesn't strike twice.
Great moments are born of great opportunity, and that's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Somebody came to my office the other day crying. I said, look, don't cry to give up. Cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain. You already hurt. Get a reward from it. Don't go to sleep until you succeed. The important thing is this: to be able at any moment to sacrifice what you are for what you will become.
As the gun fired, Chris Brasher went into the lead and I slipped in effortlessly behind him, feeling tremendously full of running. My legs seemed to meet no resistance at all, almost as if impelled by an unknown force. We seemed to be going so slowly. Impatiently, I shouted faster, but Brasher kept his head and didn't change the pace. I went on worrying about the pace until I heard the first lap time of 57.5 seconds. In the excitement, my knowledge of pace had deserted me. Brasher could have run the first quarter in 55 seconds without my realizing it, because I felt so full of running. But I should have had to pay for it later. Instead, he had made success possible. At 1.5 laps, I was still worrying about the pace. A voice shouting, "Relax," penetrated to me above the noise of the crowd. I learned afterwards it was Stamford's. Unconsciously, I obeyed. If the speed was wrong, it was too late to do anything about it, so why worry? I barely noticed the half mile passed in 1 minute 58 seconds. I was relaxing so much that my mind seemed almost detached from my body. It was incredible that we could run at this speed without strain. I was barely aware of the fact that Chris Chataway was now going into the lead. At 3/4 of a mile, the effort was still barely perceptible. The time was 3 minutes 0.7 seconds, and by now the crowd was roaring. a 4-minute mile was possible. Somehow, to do it, I had to run the last lap in 59 seconds. Chataway led round the next bend, and then I pounced past the beginning of the back straight, 300 yards from the finish. I had a moment of mixed joy and anguish when my mind took over. It raced well ahead of my body and drew me compellingly forward. I felt that the moment of a lifetime had come. Those last few seconds seemed never-ending. A faint line of the finishing tape stood ahead as a haven of peace after the struggle. I leapt at the tape, like a man taking his last spring to save himself from the chasm that threatens to engulf him. My effort was over, and I collapsed almost unconscious with an arm on either side of me. It was only then that the real pain overtook me. I knew I had done it before I even heard the clap. I felt as if I was too close to the failure.
The 1968 Olympic Games proved to be a turning point in the history of the high jump event. Into the Mexico City Olympic arena came not only a new name to the sport, but a new approach, which was to revolutionize the high jump event. Dick Fosbury from the United States demonstrated a new style of high jump, which some considered strange and awkward. It was a jump he had devised in the previous years, and one which unsettled his opponents. While the crowd at first saw him as a novelty, his continued success at clearing the ever-increasing height soon made it apparent he was a serious contender. Valentin Gavrilov from the Soviet Union failed at his attempt of 2.22 meters, while Fosbury and his US teammate Edward Carruthers cleared their way to a jump-off. The bar sat at 2.24. Carruthers failed, and Fosbury took his new style of high jump over the bar and into the history books. Fosbury had won his gold. Within a few years, the Fosbury flop had become the standard method of jumping in this great Olympic sport.
You ain't gonna believe this, but you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up to say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching every day. Was like a privilege. And the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Let me tell you something. All of my life, people have said to me, you're too small, Pre. You're not fast enough, Pre. Give up your foolish dreams, Steve. But you know what? They forgot something. I have to win.
Brilliant run by the South African, but Jamaica now in the lead and by some distance. There goes Angelo Taylor. Well, it's a tremendous run because it's really putting the Americans under pressure. Great second legs there by both Jamaica and South Africa. But the Americans now able to key off those two in front, Angelo Taylor, but the gap is opening up, Paul. It is. Jamaica having a brilliant leg here from Riker Hilton, the Jamaican champion this year. They're all bunching up now behind the Americans. In fourth place is Russia, then Kenya. Belgium dropping back a little bit. Great Britain in last place at the moment. Well, this is phenomenal. Coming through to the last changeover. Who'd have believed it? Jamaica first, South Africa second, USA in third place. But the great LaShawn Merritt is chasing now for the gold medal. He's got to make up something like 4 meters, but it's a good position to be in.
And surely the medals will come from these three. And on the last leg for South Africa, well, it's a very strong man indeed, LJ Van Zyl. And LaShawn Merritt just biding his time. He's got to strike soon. LJ Van Zyl, the 400-meter hurdles bronze medalist, is really having a go now at the Jamaicans. Leaford green for Jamaica, LJ Van Zyl for South Africa. And here goes LaShawn Merritt. The USA are going to hang on to their title. It's going to be 4 titles in a row. USA, South Africa, Jamaica. Wow, what a finish. 2:59.31. And that just showed the class of LaShawn Merritt. It even, dare I say it, looked easy.
Sprint relay underway on the lead-off for the United States. Joel Kimmons, it's Nesta Carter for Jamaica, and their dominance at the moment. Britain have got a bit to do. Handover for the Jamaicans is good. Handover for the Americans not as good. But Justin Gatlin is flying down that back straight, and he's closing in on Michael Prater. He'll pass on to Johan Blake, the individual champion. For the Americans, it's Darvis Patton. Britain languishing, and they come around towards the straight, and the final changeover. Usain Bolt and the Americans have messed up, and Usain Bolt is going to take the gold. He won't know. Usain Bolt running for the line. He crosses the line and takes the gold in a world record time, 37.04. The Jamaicans have not only retained their title, they've broken the world record. Just sensational.
A bit more often during these championships, but this is the Usain Bolt we know. Relaxed. The 200-meter final. Away cleanly. Bolt has got a very good start indeed. Flies past Alonzo Edward on the outside of him. Has had an excellent bend. Sean Crawford going well out in lane 8 as well. But it's all about Usain Bolt. 2 meters clear, 3 meters clear, 5 meters clear, and away he goes. He continues on his way towards another gold medal. Watch the clock this time. I can't believe it. A fantastic 5. 5 gold medals, 5 world records. 19.2. You've got to be kidding me. He's meant to be tired. There's something about him which you just cannot tell, can you, until he's running. That has got to be the biggest winning margin we've ever seen. You know what? It's not...
And watch this, he's just checking that the cameras are on him, just checking, and here he is.
Usain Bolt on it, 2 world record holders at 100 meters. Usain doing his dance, that's pretty, I'm impressed with that.
Little touch of the Muhammad Ali's there's a bit of a shuffle. And he is loving every moment, isn't he? Jamaica, the world record. Let's watch again.